Kyle, our tour guide.
Okay, out here, out to your right front, you got the large white bird. That is the second largest bird in the Everglades, the great white egret. The one over on your left-hand side, that is a snowy egret. Now the bird over on the right, back in the early 1930s, those birds almost became extinct. They were hunting those birds for their feathers so they could make the fancy hats for the ladies.
It's always for the ladies.
Estimated that here in the Florida Everglades alone, that we have approximately 1.5 million alligators. Now some days you come out here and these guys are everywhere. Then you can come out the following day and look all day long and never find one. A lot of that has to do with the weather. A lot of it has to do with how deep the water is. Now I'm seeing, just came back on a tour, saw a few alligators, not a whole lot of them, but we did get to see a few. Okay, right here to your left, you got a bird sitting in the tree about 6 feet up off the water. That is a greenback heron, directly left. That is the smallest of the heron family.
Oh.
An alligator has 80 good reasons why we don't put our hands in the water. They're called teeth. 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. The bone-crushing teeth are located towards the rear of the jaw, ripping and tearing located towards the front. Now every time an alligator loses a tooth, there is another one there ready to replace it. Excuse me. And the normal lifespan of an alligator, which is approximately 65 years, they'll go through about 3,000 teeth. You look out there to the left front, big alligator laying up underneath the trees in the water. All you can see is his head sitting up.
See it?
Right there?
Yeah. And that guy there's got a story behind him. We call him Scarface because he's missing his left eye. This guy used to be 10.5 feet long. He got into a territorial battle with another alligator. The other alligator bit 4.5 feet of his tail off. Now that 10.5 footer is just a 6 footer. Now, if it's still here, there's going to be an alligator on the other side of this tree on the right. Right on the other side of this tall grass. Still there.
Oh, snap.
Doing what alligators do best during the daytime. Absolutely nothing. They are nocturnal. They hunt at night.
Oh, cool.
Now the vegetation that you see growing up on the sides, that's going to be sawgrass, leather fern, cocoa plum. And the trees that you see growing in the water, those are the pond apple trees. Growing in the water on both sides, and the little yellow flowers that you'll see within them. These are called spatter dots. Now the Seminole Indian always said that the flower itself would never fully bloom as long as man was here. Those lily pads, we may see some turtles. Those are going to be the yellow belly sliders. Now that is the most common turtle that we'll see here in the Everglades. They like hanging out in the lily pads because that little yellow flower, that's a very good source of food for the turtle. Ready to go for a ride through the river on grass. Now do me a favor, folks. Please do not throw the plastic in the boat or in the water. Hi guys. In your pockets. Dispose of it properly. Once we get back to the dock. Our alligators out here do not eat plastic. So if you're wearing a hat, you're going to want to hold on to it, turn them around backwards. If you have sunglasses on top of your head, hold on to those, put them on your face. Once these objects go through my prop, you will never see them again. Welcome. the channel that we can usually find a couple of alligators. Alligators are very territorial. Once they find a spot that they like, they pretty much tend to hang out in that area. Now, on my last trip, I was able to locate one that was down the other end. It'll take me a few moments to get down there.
I don't know. I hope I did. I think I might have.
Trees over on the right-hand side, the majority of those are willow trees. Now on the way out, I told you about the trees that are growing in the water. Told you it was a pond apple. It's also known as the swamp apple. Swamp apple does produce a fruit 5 months out of the year. For the first 4 months, you do not want to eat it. The skin's very hard. The meat inside is quite bitter. On the 5th month, the skin's going to turn from a green to a golden brown. Then and only then are they edible. And it'll taste like a sweet vanilla custard. In the water out to the right front. That is the largest bird in the Everglades. Full grown, he's 3.5, 4 feet tall with a wingspan of almost 5 feet. That is the great blue heron. Once again, looking kind of dead. Well, it was just about 5 months ago we had a lightning strike. It started us on fire. We burned for 4.5 days before it finally burned itself out. It burned up about 3,700 acres. Now this is Mother Nature's way of rejuvenating itself. Look how tall and green the grass is after just 5 months. Now, unfortunately for some of the trees, the fire did get a little bit too hot. And it's all grass growing up on both sides. That is your sawgrass. Sawgrass has 3 edges. Put your fingers on the edges at the bottom. Run your hand up. It will not hurt you. Put your fingers on those edges at the top and slide your hand down. It'll slice you like a razor blade. 7-footer there that we call Lily. Now Lily got that name because she's always hanging out right here in the lily pads. When an alligator's in the water like that, it does not have to bite you to know what you taste like. You dangle your hand in the water and the alligator's gonna know. That's because their taste buds are located on the outside of the lower jaw. Now they are nocturnal, they hunt at night, and they're cold-blooded. They like staying warm all the time. You notice those bumps on the alligator's back. Those are called scoots. Scoots act just like a solar panel. During the daytime, the alligator lays around in the sun. They collect and they store heat in those scoots. Then when they go hunting at night, they can release that heat into their body as they need it to stay warm. Also have 26 different species of snakes. 4 of those are venomous. Now we got lucky here today. I didn't mess up. We didn't wind up in the trees or the bushes. So there's a good chance we will not see any of those. fish that they go for out here is the largemouth bass. We also have peacock bass, bluegill, brim, gar, pickerel, mudfish, catfish. Then there's a couple of exotics, the Mayan cichlid, the Nile perch, and the AVI. Folks, you're going to go see a wildlife show. At that show, you're going to be given the opportunity to touch or hold a 4-foot alligator.
Hold that. We're going to return to the dock here in just a moment. At that time, I'm going to ask everyone to please remain seated. Keep your hands inside the boat until I can get both ends completely tied off. If you try to exit the boat before I get both ends tied, the boat will push away from the dock, and then I have to bail you out of the water. Gator Park and myself, I'd like to thank y'all for coming out and taking our ride. If you've enjoyed your ride, please don't forget your guide. That would be me. Now folks, this is how I make my living, so all tips and gratuities will be greatly appreciated. Coming up here on Scarface on the right, if he's still out. Scarface should be right here at the right front. There he is, right there to your right. There's a couple of pairs of boots there.
couple of seconds to get the boat all tied up here, folks.